Hello, welcome to today's video.
What is up, YouTube? Sorry.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be watching Rings of Power, starting season 2.
Woo!
This is the first episode. We took a little bit of a break, but we are back and ready to see what happened. And I felt like they left off on a good spot, season 1. So I wasn't too aggravated at the cliffhangers, so to speak. Something we just learned sounds like Rings of Power is not coming out until August of 2026. If the article we read was accurate.
Yeah, so like everything that I kept seeing was saying August, like just like a date, like August 29th or whatever. But that like didn't have a year on it, and so I don't know like when they officially decided it was going to be 2026 or what have you, but so like we apologize if you guys want to get upset about wrong dates or whatever. Personally, I don't care, but
I don't think they'd be upset with us. They'd probably be upset with Amazon.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like it's coming out next year, so we have a little bit more time. But even still, it's good to rewatch before the next season comes out.
Yep. So it'll be good. We'll jump into this. From what Yara was making, it sounds like this season is a little faster paced, which is good. There were a couple episodes that seemed a little slower in season 1. Mm-hmm. Overall, I honestly enjoyed it. We were talking a little bit off screen, and just about viewership as far as what videos get views, and I was kind of thinking like even if we stop filming this, like I'm still gonna watch it on my own or with Yara, even if we don't film our reaction to it. So I am enjoying it because there are other shows that you all know and I could name, but there are plenty of other shows that I started recording and then I just stopped. Mm-hmm. Well, low viewership and low interest from myself. So it helps that this storyline is something I'm already intrigued by and enjoy. But I think they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, it's holding my interest at least. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Oh, I forgot we started with this. Yes. Okay.
Always after a defeat, your new master, Sauron.
Why does he look so different?
Wait for it.
Dorbolung Bor Zikli.
Wow.
Wait for it.
I thought you were crying. Is blood black?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so confused.
Where are you confused?
Well, they said Sauron.
Mm-hmm. That was him.
That was him.
Mm-hmm.
But then this new guy says he's Sauron.
No, he didn't.
He didn't say he was?
Nope. He's never said that he was Sauron.
Oh.
It's
So
just
Galadriel's wrong.
no. Like you're talking about Adar, right?
No. I know Adar's not Sauron.
Right.
No. But
The other guy in the shot is Sauron. Yes.
this last guy.
Yeah, the one they just killed.
Okay. But then who's the guy in season
Wait
1?
for it.
Wait for it.
Wait for it. It's important that they just killed him.
Okay. All right. So Sauron is dead.
Mm-hmm.
In theory.
In theory.
He's gone. Is that what I was waiting for?
Yeah.
So Sauron not an elf or a human?
Hail,
Right.
Hail, Ada. My children, you are free.
Longer.
That's disgusting. Seen here first, Sauron is a bunch of worms. And now he's a centipede. Nope, never mind. That's really gross. Is it not?
Yeah.
Maybe that'll happen when I die. Get stabbed in the back. What?
Don't think so.
You never know. How Sauron turned into a dude when he ate a woman?
He just needs the life force.
Keep chasing death. Choice is yours, friend.
You gonna kill the old guy? Since he found that symbol off a dead guy? Is the creature coming up for Sauron?
See, now that I've never really figured out. Like, I don't know if it's like drawn to him or something, but I feel like because like the boat attack and then like he finds Galadriel and then they're attacked again, like perhaps.
Yeah.
But then if that was the case, why didn't it pursue them to Numenor?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Why did it turn around?
It's something about him. Like, it's both drawn to him and like won't kill him. Basically, unless summoned, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, was that it?
Yeah.
I was just afraid it wouldn't pick up, or well, also the music playing will get copyright striked, I'm sure.
Yes, Sauron.
Was that not funny?
How could you?
What was funny? The noise he made?
He goes, "Grah," and it's like explains in the elf language or whatever.
Yeah,
It's like
Sindrin.
he just did it in all languages. It's not just specific to the elf language.
Everybody knows what ah
Yeah, we all know what it
means.
means, and you can say it universally. That's why it was so funny. It's like it's not just that language. Ah,
Fool!
that one too, probably.
That's what it looks like he's saying.
Oh,
Fool!
Are we gonna do what's the thing they do with the NFL?
Oh, bad lip reading?
Are we gonna do bad lip reading of Rings of Power?
That'd be funny.
Of all our kind.
You deceived me. I was deceived.
No, Galadriel, you were blind. Tilin Karatan. Sticky Ubali. Genplot.
You shouldn't jump.
Elrond, no!
The rings make him do it?
Andy, Kestroni here.
The Elvis rings don't work that way.
Oh, okay. Why'd he jump then?
Because he believes that Sauron, with his influence over Celebrimbor, had influence over the rings. In technicality, he did have influence over the design, but he never actually did the welding of them.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have the ability to control them because he hasn't touched them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting they chose to say those words and basically admit he's back without admitting he's back.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like... But, I mean, he doesn't even truly know.
Who?
Adar. Because, like, all Adar saw was, like, his empty body. So,
Yeah.
like, it's a theory that he knows it could be a possibility that Sauron would return.
Sure.
But he has no confirmation.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't necessarily think that he would know that he'd return. But, I mean, it's kind of... I don't know, if the body disappears, presumably there's something going on deeper than just the body. I don't know, and maybe that's just more because I'm into, like, I'm not super into it, but I'm believe in, like, supernatural, like, demons and stuff, and, like, to me, like, if you kill something and then all of a sudden the body vanishes in front of your eyes, like, you're gonna be in trouble at some point down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know. That to me is like a dead giveaway. Like, oh, the body's gone. I don't know.
Interesting.
What?
No.
Me or that show?
No, I think it's interesting. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Ellie, Noreen. I did not remember that.
Oh snap! The hell is that?
I forgot about these. I don't know. Like,
Should I recognize it or not?
no, it's very like this season kind of goes kind of like Star Wars-esque a little bit.
Can't be.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, come on. You might bear some fruit. Least you could do is try.
Yet?
Forgotten what happened when last I tried such a thing.
Why don't she eat what's on her head?
You did it. We'll eat for days.
Ew.
Yeah, no, that's disgusting.
I would starve to death.
Yep.
Don't be so glum. I asked you to conjure up some food, and you did.
Then you know about Sauron.
That'd be me.
Pain. Now go.
It's interesting. So it didn't tell us what he said to the dog,
No.
but somehow the dog understood and seems okay with him now. But he was also giving him food.
But I mean, like, the dog's probably going to obey because of whatever he said.
Yeah. It would be interesting to know what he said.
Yeah, I get why they do it in shows, but it does bother me sometimes when it's like something kind of mildly important and you're like, okay, but we kind of need to know what he said.
But also, maybe the writers didn't actually know what he said. So they're just like, let's just
glur, glur, glur,
you know,
glur.
and then we can say, oh, it was a different language.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nah.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. I don't know. It's left.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this.
You forgot about it.
Well,
you
no,
forgot
I
about it a lot.
no. Pause.
Ah!
So, without giving spoilers, but going back.
Yeah, don't spoil me.
Going back to the original trilogy, they leave from the Grey Havens at the end, right?
Remind me where the Grey Havens are?
Well, that's Linden is the Grey Havens, but I just saw that. I didn't remember that was where this is.
The elves leave Middle Earth.
From the Grey Havens, which
Okay.
is Linden.
Yeah.
But, like, it just showed that on the screen. I didn't remember that this was supposed to be the Grey Havens.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah. So this is the Grey Havens before it becomes the, like, Grey Havens that we know from the original.
Sure.
But to test the virtue of the rings. I should have you thrown in fetters and cost to the Etten Moors for what you've done.
Then why have you not?
I am considering it.
I think he's wrong, though.
What?
Like, Sauron would have continued to exist even if she left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe because of her assisting him, you know, he was able to progress quicker, you know, but, like, given another 1,000 years or whatever, like, he still would have been able to eventually do whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, you know, yeah, he was stuck at sea, but he was in an appearance as a man. So, like, why wouldn't the men have just helped him alone?
Mm-hmm.
I realize they helped more because of the elf.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know, who's to say they wouldn't have helped him?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or do you blame Galadriel?
I don't really blame Galadriel because she didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
But I do blame her for not checking her suspicions sooner. Because she suspected it, and so she should have trusted that. But also because she's hot-headed, like, she's not the Galadriel we know from later. She's, you know, more or less a teenager. She's just hot-headed and impulsive. And because of her impulsiveness, she's put them in kind of this weird predicament with Sauron in that she's given him access to their own knowledge.
Sure.
Instead of, you know, checking her suspicions. But she's also managed to, like, get hundreds of men killed, and the queen is blind, and so, like, she's leaving a trail of destruction in her path.
That definitely was partially her fault.
Yeah.
But also,
the
other elf that was with her, like, the dude, like, giving it to the kid, obviously was in his, you know, why didn't he check it? The key. Like, why didn't he check it earlier? Why didn't she check it? You know,
right.
why did nobody check the key?
Yeah, I mean, like, she's impulsive, and he is just, you know, he's been away from all the other elves for a long time. So
sure. Huh. Food for thought.
Poppy? Honey biscuits. Never been happier in my life than right now.
Welcome to the lands of Rune.
Come on.
Isn't that where he wanted to go?
Well, he was following the stars. Period. Which is
Yeah, but I thought the Mystic said rune.
Oh right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I vow to serve the Lord of Mordor to the end of my days,
I see why I said Lord of Mordor.
Mm-hmm.
and his.
Because he's the Lord of Mordor. Smart play on words. Would it have mattered if he vowed to serve Ardar, though?
Adar.
Would it have mattered?
I don't think so. I mean, Adar doesn't really care so much for titles as much as he does for the power.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, if he says Lord of Mordor, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was some deeper meaning as to why he refused to actually swear to him, or if it's
Well, because
just...
that's the guy that killed him.
Well, yeah. Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Sing to me, land by highway.
All hail the king. Oh!
No!
Why do you yell no?
Because he thinks it's going to be, like, destructive, blah, blah, blah.
The ring chose her. Why does he just happen to have that spot open?
Right? Mm-hmm.
Is he jealous?
I don't think it's jealousy, it's fear.
They're thinking about putting an ad there, so they didn't want him to actually answer.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's the end of the episode. I hate it! I mean, they kind of already granted him entry, because he kind of already walked in.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of... that was rude, sorry. It's more of... do we grant him an audience, or grant him the privilege to speak to us? I don't know. Did you want to listen to the end of this?
Wait, was there more? There's more.
Is there more, or is this next episode?
Oh.
We'll find out. But if it says next episode, we won't watch. Doesn't say.
I have seen
Oh,
mountains.
it's,
Oh, it's
yeah,
clearly
rest of
the next
season,
episode.
yeah.
It'd be nice if it would have warned us, but whatever. I don't know. I mean, it was pretty good. Pretty good. I enjoyed it. It wasn't really slower paced or anything.
No, that's why I said, like, I feel like the second season just kind of gets going.
That one elf though, that guy,
Elrond?
Elrond. Yeah, I don't fully understand why he's not. We're seeing all kinds of spoilers. I don't fully understand why he's not siding with the elves. Like,
It's not that he's not siding with the elves. It's that he's concerned because even though, like, Galadriel's saying, you know, like, hey, Sauron didn't actually touch these particular rings, he did have influence over the design. So in Elrond's head, he's like, wouldn't matter. He can still use it against us because he knows the design. And or he could create his own set of rings and influence those designs to control the other rings. Like, Elrond's thinking about it in terms of the long game and not necessarily what could help in the immediate. You know,
Okay.
it's that concept of this can help us and save us, but in the long run, it'll be our downfall.
Okay.
And that's where Elrond is seen, because
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but like Elrond.
Because there was one ring
Well, yes, but
to
Elrond
forge to rule the
also
ball.
has foresight, so like Elrond can see into the future. So
So why aren't the other elves listening to him? Or do they not? Does nobody know he actually has it? If they don't know it's real.
no, they know it's real.
If they know his foresight is real, why wouldn't they just go, "Oh crap, you're probably right because you can see the freaking future."
Well, no, it's not like strong. You also have to remember Elrond is not fully an elf. He's only a quarter,
Since when?
since always.
What's his other, or do we know?
Human.
Oh,
But he presents elf features and has a lot of elf powers because that's what like overpowers the human powers. But
is he
he's,
gonna die sooner than the other elves, or actually
No.
have a?
I mean, like, and it's really kind of hard to tell in this show, but Galadriel's like 3,000 years older than Elrond, because Elrond marries Galadriel's daughter to have Arwen.
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's really weird. It's like the South in the U.S.
Yep.
That level weird. I
Yep.
was friends with your mother, but now that she had you, whoa. Maybe it's acceptable in Middle Earth. It just
Yeah.
sounds
I mean, like,
weird.
so, like, in theory, if I recall correctly, technically Galadriel is, at this point, in terms of, like, what's in the books, Galadriel, at this point, technically was already married with a kid. So, kid would be older anyway.
Yeah.
But they took that part out, or they haven't put it in yet in this show.
Okay.
So, like, it just kind of muddies the waters a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I am still, even after watching a whole season of the show, I'm still kind of not 100% following the lore. Mm-hmm. Like, without you watching it with me, I would be fairly clueless, and even with you, I'm still somewhat clueless.
Well, and I think that's kind of the beauty of the show, is that you don't necessarily have to know the lore to get the show.
Well, I'm still enjoying it.
Right.
Like, I'm still getting enjoyment out of the show. It's not, you know.
Right, and I think that's the beauty, is that it appeals to both sides. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to know the lore to enjoy the show, but if you know the lore, that makes it better. Or for some people who are crazy and dumb, they don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the same with some other shows too, though. My experience with watching TVs and movies is different than maybe the broader or main audience. I don't know, because, like, you know, is that way? Like, people get all up in arms about names and history, and it's not just Rings of Power. You know, I got this with watching House of Dragons and Game of Thrones. Like,
Yeah.
why don't you process this lore? And it's like, I'm still getting enjoyment out of the show without the lore. And I haven't been getting hate for this show. Nobody, in fact,
Because y'all aren't watching.
well, there's that.
Respectfully.
Nobody's
not.
watching. Matt's watching. Fudge Hog's
Hi,
watching.
Matt. You're the only one that cares.
And sometimes we get other people, but nobody really comments on it.
Yeah, and I think some of it is just like it's not a super popular show. It is a very niche show, right? Like, I feel like Game of Thrones is more mainstream. Like, everybody, even if you didn't watch it, everybody knew about Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
Not everybody knows about Rings of Power, and if they do watch it, they are either in the camp of, I'm a super diehard fan, and so, like, I want to watch it, or they're in the camp of, this is just enjoyment, and so it's not as big of a deal. I like it because, like, I'm into lore and stuff like that, but I mean, like, I'm also, you know, a big fan of the originals as well, and I think I've said this before, but I really feel like the show is doing the lore justice, even though there are some things that they're, like, changing and kind of altering a little bit within canon, but but it's still very respectful of what Tolkien had created.
Also, to get out of the like in depth on the lore and Tolkien and everything, I just appreciate another decent, or better than decent, another good show. I mean, yeah, there was a little bit, costuming was a little rough at some stages.
It gets way better. Like, I feel like first season was just kind of like, we're finding our footing, and this is what we've got within budget, plus they had COVID in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Second season, they get, full budget back, and everything is, like, pretty much working, and so I feel like it gets better in the second season. Like, costumes get better and everything.
But I appreciate a show that doesn't have to have sex. And I know sex sells, so maybe that's partly why it's not as popular. But, like, I personally enjoy entertainment that does not involve sex.
I agree.
So I don't know, because that's something that really threw me off with Game of Thrones. I had to get past. But it's nice to be able to watch a show. We've seen an entire season. I realize there are only 8 episodes, but we saw an entire season with no sex.
Yeah.
And not even a hint at it. Like, I guess there's a little bit with the elf and the human.
But I mean,
as far as like not sex, but as far as like a relationship, romance.
Yeah, there's romance that is respectable romance. And I agree. Like, that's another reason why I love this show is, like, yes, it has, some violence, but it's not over the top and ridiculous, and there's no sex. I much more enjoy shows that are that way.
There's no sex in Lord of the Rings.
Well, no. There are love stories, but and that's something else. The concept of a relationship that is born out of love and friendship, and not just, oh, we're physically attracted to each other. Like, you could use, like, Aragorn and Arwen, right? They spend a ton of time not together, but they still have they grew up together, so there's that side of it. But, like, there's this, like, immense connection that they have. They're friends. They love each other. And, perhaps, like, it's implied or whatever. It's been a long time since I've read the books. But, like, perhaps, there is that overarching implications. Plus, the books are also written way back when. But, implied that maybe they are sleeping together. Okay, who cares? Because it's, Middle Earth. But it's never shown in the films. It's just, they love each other. They care about each other. And they're going to do whatever it takes to be together. Right? And
that's deeper than what you see nowadays.
Yeah,
like
everything is so very surface nowadays.
But it's also a lot of, I wouldn't even consider them relationships, but people just have sex with each other. Just, it's very surface level.
Because everything is about animalistic tendencies and not about actual relationships.
Yeah, but those people always end up in divorce, or they never get married in the first place. Like, I don't know. I'm getting off in a tangent.
But I think your point is valid, and I don't disagree with you. We can't necessarily, at least in my opinion, we can't always, necessarily judge everyone's relationships or what their status is, blah, blah, blah. But to me, I feel like a lot of people just focus on the animalistic tendencies of, like, we need to have sex versus actually developing relationships. And that goes not just in, like, romantic relationships, but also all relationships. A lot of people in general are just very surface with how they interact with people, how they connect with people, and that creates bigger issues instead of actually taking some time to get to know people, to have a deep connection with them. You can have a deep connection with somebody and not be romantically involved with them, right? You can have those deep friendships, and I think that's what Lord of the Rings, like, overall just really hits at, is the concept of deep friendships that surpass time and distance and going through literal hell and back. And to see cast like the cast of Lord of the Rings who are still friends 20 some odd years later.
Oh, that's cool.
Like,
I didn't necessarily know that.
I mean, like the four hobbits, they're constantly having dinner together. Like they fly around the world and have dinner together all the freaking time. Like it, but that's what Lord of the Rings is about. It's about a friendship that will literally go through hell and back and still be a friendship, and that you can still support and have like these deep, meaningful relationships. Every character in Lord of the Rings has a deep, meaningful relationship, even when there are differences. Even when there's a difference between, like, Legolas and Gimli, right? By the end of it, they are super tight and super close, and they are bestest of friends, even though they are different. Like, that's what Lord of the Rings brings to the forefront, and this show, I feel like Rings of Power, I feel like is still doing that justice. Like, it's still showing, like, these are deep friendships. Like, Nori and Poppy, they're deep friends. They're, you know, obviously the Frodo and Samwise characters, right? But they have that deep relationship, and Poppy is willing to say, you know what, I need to leave too because that's my friend, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that she's okay.
It was cool to see her, and it's a surprise.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, they were acting like or thinking she was what was following them, which she was.
Yeah.
But there's obviously more behind the scenes they're not aware of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, they might be aware of soon. Mm-hmm. Like in the next episode, we'll see.
Yeah. But I mean, like, to your point, it's one of the reasons that I love Rings of Power. It's one of the reasons I love Lord of the Rings, because it is a perfect fantasy show, movie series, canonable thing that does not involve a ton of sex or violence, you know, or any sex, and mild violence, you know, like, there is an easy way to do it where it is still enjoyable, and I don't feel like I'm gonna die at the middle of it, you know.
Yeah. It's very family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Even Lord of the Rings, it was PG-13, but like I watched it.
I watched it as
pretty
a kid.
young.
Yeah.
You know, watched it with the family.
Yeah, my dad took me to the movies.
Yeah.
Because my dad and I are the only two.
My mom did not enjoy it. But,
no, yeah.
But she allowed me to watch it as a kid, which was, you know, I was limited with what I was allowed to watch. So,
Same. I mean, yeah, and that's, you know, what, and it's not to say, because, like, obviously you and I both watch different shows that do involve that. Like, you know, you've watched Game of Thrones, not Rings of Power, House of Dragons. I've watched all of Bridgerton. Like obviously we've watched shows that do involve those things, and it's not to say that we didn't enjoy those shows for certain elements of the show, but there are a lot of elements of the shows that we drastically dislike.
Yeah.
You know, like, for me, like, Bridgerton, I don't like that there's a ton of sex, which is part of the reason why I like the Queen Charlotte line of Bridgerton versus the regular Bridgerton, because there is less sex. And it focused more on their actual relationship. Sorry, it just...
No, you're good. I'm the same way. Like, with Game of Thrones, it was really upsetting at first, and then I was finally able to kind of look past it, or...
And it's part of the reason I never finished the books.
Yeah, it's just really refreshing coming from watching Game of Thrones and then House of Dragons to then watch the whole season of Rings of Power, and it's not adult content.
Yeah.
It's not that it's not for adults. Adults can enjoy it too, but it's not heavily focused on, I would argue, what a lot of the world is heavily focused on. So it's like a break from that mentality of this is the only thing that sells.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope it's doing well. I mean, Amazon as a company itself is doing great.
Right.
I mean, I haven't seen their numbers, but like everybody knows Amazon. Everybody buys from Amazon. Everybody has an Amazon account. They own Twitch, you know, they own Amazon Video.
I mean, obviously they're doing well enough that they've got a third season. If I recall correctly in my research, I think they're signed for 5 seasons.
Oh, are they?
I think so. So, and, you know, the rest of you out there, if you're into following any of this, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty positive they are signed up for multiple seasons. So they're obviously doing well enough.
Yeah.
And that sign up was after the first season. So they've got to be doing well enough to do that.
Even the first season was a pilot season.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they do pilot episodes, but yeah. Okay. That's cool. That's awesome. Well, yeah, let us know what you think. No spoilers, please, in the comments. You guys have been great. Not that anybody's watching, but anybody that is watching, you've been great about not spoiling it. So I appreciate that. Soon we'll be caught up, and then, presumably we'll watch this again in 2026, as long as we're still doing YouTube, which I don't foresee myself stopping that. Yeah. But there you have it. Season 2, Episode 1 has been completed. Fletchaholic is a noob. Leave a like. And we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.